Today's learning target is I can divide algebraic fractions. So one of the concepts that we're going to look at today is this. The product of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. So what that means, the multiplicative inverse is this. When we take any fraction where the numerator or the denominator are not 0, but any fraction. Okay, so let's just say 3/4. And when you times that, okay, because it says the product of its inverse, so its inverse would be essentially flip-flop the numerator and denominator, you're going to get 1. Okay, so it does not matter what. It could be negative 1/3. If we times that by negative 3/1, we're going to get positive 1. Okay, because remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. If we have a mixed number like this, 6 1/3, we have to get it to an improper fraction if we want to find its multiplicative inverse. So in this case, this as a mixed as an improper fraction, would be 19/3. So then if I times that by 3/19, I will get 1. When we're asked to divide two fractions, we can look at this here to help us figure out how we do that. So to divide by a fraction, multiply by its multiplicative inverse. Okay? So here's what that means. Right now I have 1/9. And I'm going to, instead of trying to divide this, I'm going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse of what I'm dividing by. So I'm dividing this 1/9 divided by 5/12. The multiplicative inverse of that 5/12 is 12/5. Now this problem's just like what we've seen before, and I'm going to simplify down. I can divide both these by 3, and I get 3 here and 4 here, and that gives me 4/15.
So for your assignment today, write the original division problem, then rewrite it as a multiplication problem and solve.
If I ever have a problem like this, 3/4 divided by 11, okay, I'm just going to go 3/4, and I'm going to times by the multiplicative inverse of what I'm dividing by. So 11 is 11/1, so the inverse would be 1/11. Okay, and once I do that, I get 3/44, and that's in simplest form. If I'm dividing mixed numbers, the first thing I have to do is to change each of the mixed numbers into an improper fraction. So I get these two improper fractions, and now I'm ready to change this to a multiplication problem. So I've got negative 14/3, and I times it by the reciprocal, which would be 9/28. And now I'm ready to multiply. Of course, to make my life simpler, I'm going to simplify. So 1 and 3 for that, and I see this and this 14 going to both of those. Okay, now my key is to remember this negative sign. I'm timesing one negative and one positive, so it's going to be a negative 3/2. And I always want to write an improper fraction as a mixed number, so this would be negative 1 1/2, and that would be my answer. Alright, last problem we're going to look at is right here. So when I solve a problem like this, I'm going to take a look and I'm going to rewrite this as a multiplication problem. Okay, so I'm going to times by the reciprocal. A, B, C becomes my numerator, and my denominator is 15. And now I can start simplifying. So let's see, 15 and 5. 5 will go into each of those. Okay, so I'm getting that. Now, if I take a look, I see there's an A here and an A here. So I can divide each by A, and that's going to eliminate those. It's going to be 1, but if I multiply anything by 1, it's going to be the same thing, so I can just cross them out. Same thing here. I've got B here and a B here. I can get rid of those. Now if you wanted, you could put 1 here and 1 here and 1 up here and 1 up here, but you're going to get the same thing when you're multiplying it out. So I just cross them out. So I'm left here with 1 in the numerators, 1 times C, which is C, And at the bottom I'm left with 3 times 3 is 9. So my answer to this would be C over 9.